So I guess there's going to be some weeks I just absolutely hate this show and can only hope for better things next week. It's about the worst possible ending I think I've seen. Show's been kicking ass the last couple weeks. This one was tough. So we started, most of the episode was the crew beyond the wall. Jon Snow and company, and Gendry and the Hound, Thoros, Tormund, all the boys now. They're out there beyond the wall looking for one of the dead. We do go back to Dragonstone for a minute with Tyrion and Dany. Tyrion's already talking about a successor to her. She's wondering why Tyrion's so consumed with her death. He's not, though, really. Just realize, look, you're out there flying around on a dragon with no armor. It's a little dangerous, all right? A lot of people want you dead. So, anyhow, she doesn't want to hear any of that. And we also get some Sansa and Arya. I'm not real thrilled with Arya right now. It appears she's just being outsmarted by Littlefinger. I don't know, maybe she's got some grand master plan where she's really one up on Littlefinger, but I don't know. She's all up in Sansa's shit. She's seen the letter. She shows Sansa that she saw the letter. Sansa's freaking out. She's listening to whatever Littlefinger has to say at this point. Gets Brienne of Tarth run off to King's Landing conveniently for Littlefinger. No Jon, no Brienne of Tarth. I don't know if he's going to go after Arya next. You better watch it, Littlefinger, if you're going after Arya. As pissed off as I am at her right now. We'll see. Maybe next week she gets you with that dagger. I'll be really thrilled once again. So basically, that was the side stuff here, but the bulk of the episode the bulk of the series, dude, was out there beyond the wall. The crew's out there. They lose a couple of token wildlings. If you were wondering who those 8th, 9th, and 10th guys were, just a couple of wildlings that were just going to be disposed of at some point. A bear is the first thing to get them. They encounter on their way out there looking for one of the dead. They encounter some bear. It's got blue eyes, big ass polar bear. Catches on fire at one point. One of the bros lights up his sword. The Lord of Light coming through. They catch the bear on fire. Eventually, it takes a dagger to the head. Every show with every zombie, a dagger to the head does it. The Hound, even out there under these circumstances, still scared of fire. Pretty much sits there and watches as Thoros is being eaten alive by a bear. They save him momentarily. They get the flaming sword, just put it right on the bear wounds. He's good to go. For a while, anyhow. He doesn't make it. He does, spoiler alert, he doesn't make it. I'm going to tell you that in like a minute, anyhow. So anyhow, eventually, after much, a lot of guy talk, Jon and Jorah, Tormund and the Hound, Gendry still pissed off at the brothers. They find some walkers. Only a few of them, though. One white walker, 7 or 8 dead with him. They decide to attack. They get their walker. Jon takes out a white walker quite easily this time. The first time Jon and a walker went head-to-head, it was a battle. This time, matter of seconds. Probably under 10 seconds he takes this walker out. All the other dead with the walker drop except for one. I think they figure out at that point, that must be the walker that turned them. Kill him, you kill them all. They get their one, throw a satchel bag over his head. Not before he lets out some horrific scream, though. Just pretty much waking the rest of the dead. Leads to the crew being surrounded. Probably outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Luckily, the ice breaks. The dead can't swim. They fall through the ice. That saves the guys for a little while, anyhow, buying them some time as Gendry's running back to the wall. Trying to get a raven to get a note to Daenerys. Daenerys is going to show up and save the day on her dragons. So they're out there all night freezing. Eventually the Hound starts fucking with them. They're coming for him at this point. I don't know how they survive. These walkers can't fight they're not the best fighters in the world, that's for sure. Like I said, outnumbered about 1,000 to 1. The crew's holding their own. Tormund almost goes down at one point. I think the Hound redeems himself by saving Tormund in this scene. So right about the point where they're like, all right, they're all screwed. Here they come. They're done. They can't fight them off any longer. Here comes Daenerys on the dragon, just dropping flames all over the place. Seems like a very valuable weapon to have north of the wall. And then probably the worst scene. Maybe the worst scene I've ever seen in 7 seasons. The Night King goes over to one of the horses, grabs his fucking popsicle, has it zeroed in right on one of the dragons. And oh no, I just screamed, no, don't do it. He did it. He hit the dragon, just blood and flames go flying everywhere. The dragon down, crashes through the ice, sinks to the bottom of the frozen sea. Daenerys and crew do get out of there, though. Everybody's on the other dragon with Daenerys, except for Jon Snow, of course, and then he's the hero. Taken off. The Night King goes and grabs another popsicle. I hope they at least lose those weapons. Maybe the one that hit the dragon they can get back, but I hope they're at least down a popsicle in this whole deal. Man, fuck the Night King. I was always kind of like, if the Night King wins this thing, I'm alright with it. But seriously, I'm not even kidding, man. Fuck that guy. I'm done with him. Fuck, he's fucking dead to me. It's not even a joke, man. I'm fucking done with the Night King. Fuck that guy. I hope he burns alive. Or dead, or whatever the fuck he is. So, yeah, they kill a dragon. They get out of there. There's a close call with Jorah almost falling off the dragon. Jon Snow's left behind. Is he dead or alive? Another sinking man. It's like Jaime Lannister a couple of weeks ago. Benjen Stark, you know, about once every other season, Benjen Stark to the rescue. He comes and bails Jon out, gets him on a horse, gets him back to the wall. Fucking Daenerys back there at the wall, more worried about Jon Stark than she is the dragon that died. I mean, like she said, they're her children. They're pretty much my children at this point after 7 years. One of them goes down and she's worried about Jon Snow and his fucking hair. So eventually Jon Snow makes it back to the wall. He and Dany talk. He decides to bend the knee. Can't physically bend the knee, but calls her the queen. Looks at her with some really creepy stare. Kind of freaks her out a little bit. Somebody needs to tell these two really soon, alright? Look, it's getting creepy. Just tell the guy, for crying out loud. Or her, or somebody. Get Jon Snow back to Winterfell. Fuck. So then, if it wasn't bad enough that the dragon died after seeing the bear earlier in the episode, you kind of knew what was coming. The episode ends, they're dragging. Nice work by the Army of the Dead. Dragging the dragon out of the ice. The Night King turns it. It's like, well, fuck. Is that thing going to breathe ice now? How's that work? How are they going to kill it? We didn't get Clegane Bowl. Maybe we'll get Dragon Bowl. That could be the best thing coming out of this, I suppose. Probably the worst thing I've ever seen, though. Maybe the second worst. Nah, it was the worst. The dragon getting hit and going down sucked. And then the inevitable happening. The Night King turning it to their side. The worst thing I've ever seen, I think. Like I said, maybe Arya will cut Littlefinger's throat next week. Boom. I'll be happy. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. If you watched. If you didn't watch, you never heard that. Fucking horrible. There I go with the horrible endings again. Worse than the show's ending.